Hi, welcome to Driving TV and I hope you are well. In this video, I will be sharing move off clutch control. So it's how to move the car with the clutch. If you are learning in a manual car, this will be one of the most important lessons for you because this will be your first lesson. How do you move the car with the clutch? This will be the first lesson for you in terms of moving the car. This will be your first lesson how you move the car. The journey starts, how do you move the car with the clutch? So this lesson is all about how to move the car with the clutch. So the main focus of this lesson, I'm just going to show you how do you move the car with the clutch, okay? Obviously there will be other things where you look around, look at the blind spot, put the signal on, but the main focus isn't all that. The main focus in this lesson is how do you move the car with the clutch. So it's move off clutch control, okay? First of all, we need to understand how the car moves. Okay, this is really important you as a learner to understand. So then you know what is clutch control. For you to move the car, you put the clutch down, you go to first gear. You take the handbrake off, you give some gas, and you bring the clutch up to the point where the car starts to move, and you give a pause, and the car starts to go. It's simple. Now, it is so simple to say, but when you are doing it, it needs some practice. The more practice you do on that, the more you learn. As long as you understand how the clutch works, what is the biting point, giving that little pause, holding the biting, car starts to move, hold the biting at that point, and that's all you need to know, okay? So I'm going to go through that so you understand how to move the car. Hopefully, by the end of this lesson, you will know how to move the car with the clutch. Now here, I just like to make one point clear because this is what makes a difference with the clutch control, okay? When you're learning in a manual car, the clutch control is the most important. So I just want to make it clear to you so that you understand how the car moves, okay? And we're talking about here moving the car on a flat road, okay? So move off clutch control, meaning you move the car with the clutch on a flat road, okay? This is what you're going to be doing when you're learning in a manual car. You're not going to learn going up or going down on your first day, okay? For you to move the car and for you to learn how to move the car, you will do it on a flat road, okay? So what I am explaining here will work on a flat road, and this is what you are going to be learning on your first lesson when you are moving off, okay? So for you to move the car, the clutch goes down to the floor, okay? You put the clutch down to the floor, you go to first gear, you took the handbrake off, okay? So this is the clutch down to the floor. For you to move the car or for the car to move, you slowly bring the clutch up. You bring the clutch up, you bring the clutch up. And how much do you bring the clutch up? You bring the clutch up until the point where the biting point. So say this is the biting point. This is the point where the car starts to move, okay? So you bring it up, and you will feel when you come here, car about to move, okay? When the car starts to move, and this is important, okay? And this is the reason why I'm explaining. When the car starts to move at biting, you keep your feet still. You pause it there. Don't move your feet. Do not go down or up. You just keep it there. Once you keep it there, car will just keep going. And your practice is to understand how the car moves. You bring up to the biting and the car starts to go. You pause it. Make sure your feet is paused. It doesn't go anywhere. If you want to slow, you go fraction down. If you want to move again, you bring up to the biting again. You want to slow down again, you move it down slightly. Okay? When you press it down a little bit, car will stop again. If you want to move again, you bring it up to the biting again. Okay? If you bring it too much above the biting, you probably will jerk and probably will stall the car. Okay? So you want to make sure that you hold it to the biting point. Okay? And that's the point I want to make it clear here so that you know. Many learners, the reason they find a problem or find difficult in the beginning is because they can't find the biting, or they come to the biting and they're not giving that pause. They're not holding the biting. The holding bit keeping your feet still is the important for you to move the car. Okay, so I just want to make that clear here. So firstly, we put the clutch down. Okay, so how do we put the clutch down? When we put the clutch down, we put the clutch with top part of our feet. Okay, top, not too much and not too less. Okay, so not too much, not too less. We need to feel it when we put the clutch down, because we need to feel the biting when we bring the clutch up. So top part of your feet feels it. The sensor of your feet is on the top part of your toes or your feet. Okay, so we put the clutch down with the top part down to the floor. Done. Next thing we need to do is go to first gear. Okay, now because it's on a flat road, we take the handbrake off. Why? Because the car is not going to go anywhere. Your first lesson when you move the car is going to be on a flat road, because that's where you learn the moving the car. You're not going to learn on a hill, up or down. If the car is on a hill, then you can't take the handbrake off, because the car will go the way the hill is. If it's uphill, it's going to start to go back, and if it's downhill, it's going to start to go forward. Okay, so you learn on a flat road. And if it's a flat road, you don't need the handbrake. You could just take the handbrake off, no problem. Next thing we need to do is give some gas for the car to move. Now the question is, do I have to give gas? Now most modern cars, soon as you start the car, it already gives some gas already. So even if you don't give any gas, you bring the clutch to the biting, car will start to go. But if you drive a car which is very small engine, if you don't give some gas, the car probably will jerk and it probably will stall. So it is a good habit to have some gas ready, so when the car comes to the biting, car starts to move without any problem. Okay, so give some gas. How much? Around 1500 rev, which is width of a pound coin. Okay, width of a pound coin. So you use again top part of your feet. Why? Because you could feel it. So I'm giving around width. And how do you know? You could hear the engine noise. Okay, so you press it. Can you hear it? Okay, if you hear too much, it means you're giving too much. Okay, so you just need to hear a little bit that you gave enough gas, and you could see it's around 1500 rev on your rev. Okay, then you hold. Now this is the part when the car moves, and this is important. Make sure you know this. You bring the clutch up really slowly until you find the biting point. The biting point is the point where car starts to move. Okay, you bring up to the bite. Bring up really slowly, and you could feel the biting point. And how do you feel it? You will feel car starts to move. Okay, bring up really slowly. I'm bringing us really slowly, and you will feel, and you will see car starts to go. Can you see? Car is going. And you pause. You just pause there. Don't let the clutch go. You pause. Car is going, and you just pause. You just hold it there. If you let the clutch go now, it probably will jump and it's going to go fast. So you just hold it there. Okay, you just hold, and the car is going, you just hold at that point. If you want to slow the car, fraction down clutch, fraction down. Now it's gone to the biting and it stops. If you want to go again, what do? Fraction up to the biting again. If you want to slow down again, fraction clutch down. If you want to go again, clutch up. Can you see the clutch control? I'm controlling it with the clutch only. Gas stays the same. Even if I give the gas down to the floor, the car's not going to go, because I'm controlling it with the clutch. Let me repeat that. Even if you give gas full down to the floor, the car will not go. Why? Because I'm controlling it with the clutch. I've just paused it and the car is just going. If I want to slow down, what do? I just put the clutch down a bit. And if I want to go again, fraction up. If I want to slow down, down a bit. If I want to go, up. It's going. Slow down, down a bit. If I want to go again, up a bit. And it's going. And I'm just pause and just hold. And that's how you move the car. Okay, it's all about knowing the clutch. Okay, so you put the clutch down, go to first gear, you give little gas, take the handbrake off, and you just bring the clutch to the biting point. It's the biting. You bring up to the bite and you pause, and the car starts to go. If you want to slow down, fraction down to the biting, car stops again. If you want to go again, fraction up. If you want to go again, fraction clutch down. If you want to slow down, down a bit. If I want to go again, fraction up. If I want to go again, fraction clutch down. If I want to slow down, fraction down. If you want to slow down, fraction down to the biting, car stops again. You want to go again, fraction up to the biting again, car starts to go. And you just pause at that biting and the car will just go really slowly. And you just hold and you just drive. And you just drive and get used to it. Okay? Okay, so let me repeat. It's all about the clutch control. Move off clutch control, meaning how do you move the car with the clutch? Okay? You put the clutch down, you go to first gear, you take the handbrake off. You give a little gas, like I said, around a width of a pound coin, and that's it. The gas doesn't move the car. You just need to give enough, so it's got some gas in it, in the engine, but it's the clutch moves the car. Okay? How? You bring the clutch to the biting point, up to the biting, and car starts to go. When it does, pause. You fit still. This is the secret. You pause it, and the car starts to go. If you want to slow down, fraction down the clutch. If you want to start to go again, fraction up, and that's how you move the car. Okay? I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give a thumbs up, and please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos, and hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.